And welcome everyone to another episode of the Indie Spotlight. We're as you see there, we're running just a few minutes late, but better late than never, as I always say. My name is Michael. I'm one of the Wicked co-founders here at Wicked Publishing, and we're joined by a couple awesome creators today. We have Nana, the creator of the new manga Sweven, as well as the artist. Welcome both. Welcome to you both. Neptune Inc.
Hello.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
welcome.
Tonight?
We're doing well. I appreciate you joining us actually to speak with us. This is a new manga, and I'm excited to learn all about it. I just know a little bit, but it's gonna be a really interesting talk, I think.
Yeah, this is a really fun series.
So we as people may know, and I'll let you go introduce yourself here in just a second. But Nana is also a publisher on one of the series that we put out, Star Ring. And this is a series that is coming not from Wicked Publishing, a brand new series being put out independently from us. And so that's why we're really kind of excited to talk to them about this and learn more about it. So without further ado, why don't you introduce yourselves and tell us who you are and what you do.
Hello, everybody. I'm Nana, which all of you call me different names. Jupiter, whatever you want to call me. And I am the writer of Sweven and the creator. And the starring too.
I'll clap for you. Okay. I'm the audience now. Hello, I'm Neptune Inc. Neptune Inc. Senpai. I am the artist for Sweven and Star Ring. Since you're putting that in there.
Yeah, so really cool to have, as I said, to have you guys here. So why don't you tell us maybe a little bit about what Sweven's about, and then we'll kind of dive into a more detailed discussion about the series here.
Okay. So Sweven follows a young woman named Millie Jade. And Millie is enduring lucid nightmares that are pretty scary.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
What kind of nightmares are these?
Well, they vary. And you see them in the manga a lot. How they vary in intensity of the nightmare. But something happens in the nightmares that is unique and something that sticks out to her. And as these dreams partake, she starts remembering them. And weird things happen after she endures these lucid dreams.
Interesting. So yes. It's very involved in dreaming, as you said earlier when we kind of spoke a little bit about it. Maybe you want to tell us what inspired you to kind of create a story involving dreams?
So originally I was doing a webtoon with Neptune, and her and I, we had this idea about dreams and what happens in lucid dreaming. And I've always just found it fascinating as well, because I felt like I had a lucid dream like one time in my life.
Really?
Yeah, I have. And I started like being able to kind of go lucid on my own without ever trying in my dreams. And lucid dreaming is a real thing. It is something that can happen to anyone. And I know some people even practice trying to lucid dream. So I just always found it fascinating. And I really, really had this great story idea, but I didn't execute it very well in the webtoon. So we just I just told her, I said, I want to cancel. We originally called it The Vermilion Figment. And I canceled that comic because I just didn't feel like I was writing it very well. So I loved the idea. I loved what I had in mind. So I just took that plot and put it in Sweven.
And how different is it? Is it a complete overhaul with some themes, or are we going to see some characters that are familiar?
So the two main characters that you've seen, if some people saw it, we had like what was it? It was like a promo picture we did, or was it cover?
I actually did the cover. I actually did like most of the first chapter and webtoon style, and then I even did the cover. In fact, it's actually popped up on my background because I have it as one of my backgrounds. But yeah, so we were like ready to like launch the first chapter with the cover and everything before we kind of stepped back and decided, you know what, we're gonna do something else.
Yeah.
It
was like, honestly, like a lot of people don't think like when you're getting into comics, which is a general term. Comics can, basically mean all different styles, you know what I mean? But the thing is like, if you're not used to a format, like if you're used to how a format is going, that's what you're used to. And when I personally switched to the webtoon, I just was picturing it as a manga in my head, I guess. And when we started doing it, I'm like, I'm not executing this properly. And like, I didn't know if there was like a special way to write a webtoon. Like I really didn't look too much into it as I should have. And then I realized, I was like, no, I don't really want to do a webtoon, because there are different, especially in art style, are vastly different. And I just was like, I don't want to do this anymore. So I said to her, I promised her, I was like, don't worry. I was like, I'm going to keep this plot, because it is a very good plot. And I was like, then I just came up with this, and I really enjoy writing this, like, a lot.
Now tell us, a little bit about the length of the series. Is this going to be a mini series, an ongoing series? What do you guys have planned for that?
I'm not really too sure. Like I really don't.
Open-ended, huh?
It's very open-ended.
I can't see it being a short series.
Okay.
I would say it's in the middle, definitely.
Kind of a medium length, perhaps.
It's about the length of a slice of life. Kind of. It's not like a shonen One Piece is gonna have like
right. Yeah, it's none of that. It's none of that. No.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. I'm sure. Yeah.
And we're actually going to be doing this. We're actually going to be doing this a lot different. Something that we're actually doing, which in starring, you're going to have ongoing chapters, and starring is something that, gosh, I could write that for 20 years. You know what I mean? I could just keep that going. But Sweven, on the other hand, it was very, very well thought. Like, it was very thought out before I started. In fact, I spent maybe 2 to 3 months outlining the story from start to finish. So I know exactly what's happening. I know when it's supposed to happen. And so I really just kind of see this, like Amanda said, just sort of being like a slice of life, and something that's shorter, but also effective.
Mm-hmm.
A little more to the point, perhaps.
Yeah.
In a sense.
Exactly.
Interesting. Okay. Now, your first series, Starring, is a fantasy series through and through. I mean, I don't think there's anyone who would deny that claim.
Mm-hmm.
What is it like to now go from that to now working on a sci-fi series?
Well, you
had to think about that one.
Like, I mean, I really, like I said in the beginning, I've always just was interested in the scientific like the science of dreaming. I mean, I'm gonna emphasize this now. I don't really put a lot of the scientific elements into the story. Like, it doesn't really get down to a science per se. But it's just that us talking about how she lucid dreams. So, like, I guess what Amanda said earlier, it definitely is a dreamscape genre.
Yeah, it's dreamscaping. That's what that is. But like, the story itself isn't just about like. There's a lot more depth to the story than just dreamscaping. Like, there's all kinds of plot going on here.
Yeah, like you're gonna have
about the characters as well. Then,
what's that? I'm sorry.
Is it like a lot about the characters and their like relationships?
Yes,
yeah.
Oh, definitely. It's definitely a character plot story.
Nice.
It's something that is very character driven. It takes place in Seattle, Washington. For anyone who is really, really ecstatic to have an American manga, I honestly have to say, I have so much confidence in saying this, that no manga that has been created yet hits Americana culture as much as I'm trying to do here. So I'm really trying.
Especially, can I mention the time it takes place?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
It takes place in the 90s as well, so it's gonna be really fun to do an Americanized young adult manga in Japanese style, but it takes place in 90s America. So
wow.
yeah,
that's a pretty unique setting.
I thought so.
Yeah, I think it'd be really cool.
I kind of like we both agreed we really liked the aesthetic of 90s. So.
Yeah, we do. And one of the things that we're doing is it takes place in the 90s, and as everyone knows, Nana is one of my biggest inspirations. So I got a lot of inspiration from Nana and music aesthetics as well. So you have a lot going on, but it all blends together so uniquely because everything's about execution.
Now we have the cover up here on the screen.
Yeah.
And so
it's on my screen too.
Yes, and no, that's okay. And this is the new cover you did, correct? Not the original webcomic version?
Yeah, this is the new cover with the new characters.
Oh, okay, nice, very nice. Of course, yeah, that makes sense.
So we got the beautiful protagonist
who shall remain nameless.
I want to mention that Drew Pritchett did our title art there, and I do believe he did Blood Ties, if I'm not mistaken. He did Blood Ties title art as well. Yeah.
Very cool. And you're talking about the actual the words, right? The kind of the logo there.
The Sweven. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's cool. Yeah.
We added the dreams and reality later. It actually was in I believe it was in katakana originally, but we didn't really want to put the katakana in. Just mainly because it is kind of really taking place in America, and I'm like, I don't really feel like this mixes so well. So, I mean, if we were to ever, which I'm going to get into later, we actually are going to possibly doing some translation. So we're going to save that for the translator when the time comes.
Yeah, I'm the one who put the dreams and reality. That's the only part of the actual title I did, but the rest of it, like the flower and the color of the title art, is all the other person.
Yeah, they did a great job of with the whole thing. That really came together.
Yeah, it was super. Like he sent me like a couple of examples, and like that one just stuck out to me. I'm like, that looks so dreamy.
Yeah, it definitely gives you that dream kind of vibe, doesn't it? The whole cover really does, kind of dreamy kind of quality to it.
Yeah, that's what I've really liked. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. This cover took me days. Like, there's a lot of different colors and there's a lot of depth in this whole cover.
And Easter eggs.
I mean, I guess there are a couple Easter eggs.
I'm looking at one right now.
Yeah. Let me just tell you, those boots, not easy.
Too many laces.
Dude, right? I'm like, oh, this is going to kill me.
That's too funny, yeah. Yeah, you don't often see knee-high boots in comics. That's a new one.
No.
Millie is... Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, it's cool.
I was just going to say, like, Millie is such a stylish character. Like, we really, really want her to stick out the most. And... Yeah, we
That's
really...
why other guys in the background, I guess.
Yeah, he's checking her out.
I
mean,
he's a big question mark, so I'm not even going to talk about him.
Oh, damn. Do you even get his name?
No.
Not even allowed his name.
Wow.
No, he's mystery. He's a mystery.
Yeah, it's a mystery. We got to figure out. We got to read the comic to find out.
Read it to find out.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Fair enough.
But Millie is best girl.
I enjoy drawing
what can you
her.
tell us about Millie?
So, basically,
she's
Millie,
waifu.
She's waifu. Besides that, she's a college student, with a troubled past. And while she's trying to find this peace in life, things in her life start to drastically change. And then while trying to adapt to these changes, she starts experiencing these lucid nightmares. And in her mind, she's thinking, well, these are just, this is just a form of me dealing with my stress. But it's really not.
Interesting,
there's a little bit more to it than her just dealing with her stress. But you know, we entered, you know, she's a college girl and she's super smart, and you know, she's one of the most in-depth characters I've ever written. Like, very, very complex character, but at the same time, she shows so much development too, and just has so much to look forward to as a character. Like, she's just great. I really just love that character a lot. She's probably in my top 5 favorite characters that I ever written for. So
would you say she's unassuming in a way, almost like you might not there's more to her than you might expect? Just looking
definitely.
at her?
Yes, there's a lot.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's really interesting. I feel like that would be you kind of layer these mysterious things like about characters and kind of like who they are. It seems like kind of that would go into kind of what you're saying about the that being really the core of the comic itself, as opposed to like the sci-fi elements or something.
Yeah, like the sci-fi element just adds like a little bit of flavor. Honestly, it's very,
right, exactly.
Yeah, it's very character. It's a very character-driven story. Every character in the story.
Sorry, go ahead.
Every character in the story holds a very, very a very unique purpose, and what they do, like they all have are just so realistic. Is what I meant to say. Like, they're just so realistic. Like, honestly, I don't think I ever created a cast that's realistic, because in starring, you know, it's a fantasy series, so anything goes when you're creating your own world, you know. But when you're creating something that takes place in real life, that's a real life setting, you really want them to be even more realistic than, say, in a fantasy series.
What went into kind of developing those more realistic characters?
What's that?
How did you kind of approach developing those more realistic characters?
Just by giving them life experiences. They all have a past. They all have troubles.
They're all very relatable. Like, each character, I bet, like, people reading, you know, like, I've obviously read the whole script, so I know, well, these characters, and I can see a lot of people reading it connecting to at least one character. You know, even, I mean, I could see both men and women connecting to at least one character, because they're all very different, but they're all very, like, they all have really deep personalities, and I don't know, they're just relatable. I've already found a character I relate to. I can't say anything, but I can yet.
We need more.
We do want to put a trigger warning out. We do. And you know, we do have a trigger warning. There is some sensitive topics in this series. It is not for young. It is not for anyone under the age of 18. So, you know, we want to put that out there. Please do not, you know, read this if you are, you know, under 18 years old. I would prefer not 18 plus.
In what respect are we talking? Violence, mature subjects.
Mature subjects. Yeah, definitely mature
sensitive
subjects.
Topics, perhaps.
Sensitive topics and mature subjects. Nothing political though, so you don't need to worry about that.
and we got fan service, of course.
Yeah,
of course. You gotta have fan service. How's the fan service level compared to starring?
Well,
do what?
What's the fan service level compared to starring? It's definitely a lot more fan service.
Oh yeah, way more. Let me tell you.
Yeah. I had a feeling.
Starring is like a different kind of fan service. That's
yeah,
like
you always
about
talk
blood.
about well, yeah, it's also like you wanted. I know we talked before, and you wanted to keep it kind of like not too over the top fan service, kind of like low key fan service.
And it's like this as well too. Like the fan service is not like in your face, you know, gonna blind you with all of its cringe. No, and that's not it.
It's not even like, okay, it's like tasteful fan service. However, you do have those very mature moments.
Yes, exactly.
So being able to slap an 18 and plus on there, you know, gives us a little bit more opportunities to make it, because I feel like, you know, you kind of need that, because just the way the story is, I feel like you need it to make it more real, because that's what we're going for, is something, you know, deep. And I feel like you kind of need some of these things in it to make it feel like that. You know what I mean? Make it feel real. I can't say much more. But
we're very secretive today.
We don't. I know, right? You're not usually this secretive. Very, it's like your ultra top secret project.
Yeah,
this is the one for sure. Now, now I wanted to ask, how far are you guys into production? What is the kind of future for the series looking like in terms of release and production and all that good stuff?
We are releasing. Did you say no, man? Oh, man.
I said, oh man. I've been busting my butt for this.
Did you just call me Nana?
No, girl, you know me better than that.
Nana.
Nana.
Right, anyway, it's very, very specifically not Nana.
No, not Nana. So as everyone knew, we had a couple huge announcements recently. One of them is that we, all merged. So this is why I have a new pen name now, because the name Jupiter Ripple is now going to represent me, Kazuto, and Neptune, because that's what we're putting this under. Actually, hoping to maybe do that with starring as well. And as for the launch of the comic, since we merged, we've gotten a lot of good news, and we are actually going to be publishing it on a comic platform called INKR Comics, and it's going to be finished by November 5th.
Very exciting. Very soon. So will it be up shortly after that then?
Yes, it will be up shortly after November 5th.
Very exciting.
That's what we're aiming for.
Here's the link in the chat for those who aren't familiar. They're a new service, relatively new service in terms of the naming, and they have a beta app out, I believe, and some really cool connections to some creators in Japan, or maybe some Japan and even Korea, I think even. So looks like they have some really interesting stuff. So
they're partnered with Tokyo Pop right now.
Yeah, that's right. I saw that. That was really cool, actually.
Which is something we're super excited about.
Really awesome. Congratulations about that. That's really cool.
Thank you.
That's really excited to see.
And INKR is really they have a lot of different comics. And here's the thing: is you're going to directly support us as well. So please, if you're going to read Sweven, please make sure that you do it at that link, because you're going to directly support the three of us, which is very much appreciated, by the way.
For sure.
Yeah. And I'm really excited about it. We started this project only started in, I want to say, January, February, and we're already almost done, which is amazing.
I know, it's like it just I guess when you stick to a schedule,
yeah
you can get stuff done.
Yeah, when you stick to a schedule, it's a big
go figure.
If you work hard, you can get things done.
I mean, and the art is going so quickly, and even the writing, which honestly surprised me. It happened super fast. I'm now just revising what I have.
She's got whiplash.
Yeah.
Well, that's excellent. I'm really excited to see it. Now we're looking at some of the page art here, and kind of getting a sense for the style here. It looks here like maybe she could be in some sort of dream sequence, perhaps.
What's that?
We'll see. It looks like, just based on looking at on what I see here, it looks like she could be in a dream. And what you've told me, she could be in a dream sequence, perhaps here. We see kind of this misty looking aura. Definitely gives off a dream vibe to me. Very, very interesting. Let's go ahead.
I sure wouldn't want to be in this situation.
Maybe you could tell us a little bit about. No, definitely not. Especially now that I see change here.
Yeah.
What kind of maybe you could tell us a little bit about how you approach doing the art for the series?
Well, when Jupiter told me, she wanted to do this, she was like, I definitely want it, Japanese manga style. Because, we switched from the webtoon style to manga. Well, I never did manga until now. So she's like, I said, well, what kind of style? Because, I do lots of different styles. I could do like a mixture of different things. So she just sent me a bunch of styles she really loved. And I was just like, all right, so we're going for like definitely like a shoujo style,
Nice.
With like big pretty eyes and big fluffy hair and cute outfits and stuff. So I basically was studying a few different art styles and kind of put all the ones I thought were attractive together. And here we are.
Well, it came together really nicely. I feel like it's actually funny that you said that this is like one of your first times doing more of a manga style, because I feel like you really nailed the aesthetic of it. It feels really spot on.
Thank you. Yeah, it was very nerve-wracking at first. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing.
When she sent me that first page, I nearly I was like, holy, pardon my French, but I was like, holy shit. I'm like, that is awesome. I was a holy shit moment. Like, guys, Amanda is an amazing artist. Like, it is just amazing how she never did a manga and literally just was like, okay, here we go.
Yeah,
I'm still like, and here's the thing, like, it's funny because, people probably notice that I learn as I go. And so even in the first chapter, you'll probably notice my skills improving for each page. Like, it looks more and more I noticed because I was rereading everything and like, I could see the improvement and like making it look more and more like a traditional manga. And I found myself comparing it to stuff I read.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, at the newer pages, I'm just like, oh my gosh, like I'm finally starting to get it. And there's actually been a couple times where I'm like, you know what, I'm sorry, but I'm going back and I'm fixing some stuff. So some of this, I've gone back and like touched up and fixed, and like, because like I said, I'm still trying to get used to everything. I didn't know how to use screen tones because I was so confused. I'm like, well, if it's monochromatic, you can only use black and white and monochromatic. How do I get gray tones? So
that's a good question. Yeah,
I know it. I had to study. I was studying on it. Like, I did a lot of studying, and I have a Pinterest board with tons of manga pages for examples and help. And it's so. Screen tones, they're my best friend now.
I love them.
Yes, and screen tones are a huge part of course, of the manga aesthetic as well, and definitely give that manga vibe to it, among other things as well.
Mm-hmm.
But that's awesome. Yeah, I mean, you seem like you've done a great job with that here, and so you mentioned you kind of going over some of the stuff that you read. What are some of your manga influences?
For sure, Aoharu Ride. I need to see who. Well, Nana, you know who that's by, right?
I do not. I read it.
That's an older series, right? I would imagine.
It's
like 90s or early 2000s, maybe.
No, probably not 90s.
Not
definitely
that far.
No. I mean, she does have some older work that I looked at first because we were trying to go for, because the manga takes place in the 90s, so I did want to incorporate some 90s manga. So Nana is lately especially been a huge influence on my pages.
Nice.
Yeah.
Aoharu Ride is more of like the art style I lean towards because I love it. I love her art style. It's so beautiful. And then of course Nana. So you could, if you read, you can kind of see that Nana and Aoharu Ride are like mashed to one to make one style.
Which is unique. It's super unique.
I've not heard of this one. Is that is there an English translation for that by any chance?
Blue Spring Ride.
Huh, interesting. Yeah, I've not heard of that one. That's quite interesting.
It's a good anime too. That's a pretty good anime.
It's super cute.
Nice. Is it a shoujo slice of life style?
Actually, yes, it is. Uh-huh.
Nice. Yes, I definitely kind of get that vibe. Even though it's not, from what I understand, Sweven's not super slice of life. It seems like there are some elements, perhaps.
I mean, I guess I really feel like this could fall under a lot of genres, like as we were talking before.
Which is a thing.
Like it hits a couple.
Drama for sure.
Yeah, that's allowed, definitely.
Drama, slice of life, paranormal, like big smorgasbord.
It's drama. It's a lot of romance as well. For those that love that, because I do.
Yeah, you gotta have a good, decent. I mean, shoujo. Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of romance usually in shoujo stories. Not always, but a lot of times. And what are some of your writing influences, kind of, that you're bringing to the table?
I have a lot that I've. A big inspiration is AI Yazawa, as everyone knows. I love AI Yazawa. And, I would say, like, a lot of AI Yazawa's work was what inspired me to write Sweven as well. And, I mean, just the normal people that have always been inspiring me, like Hajime Siyama. I mean, his storytelling, even though it's such a vastly different genre, still... how in-depth he goes is what I aim for every day. I mean, even AI Yazawa has moments like that as well, where she's so in-depth that I'm like, I need to get this good, and I will just keep trying until I do.
That's awesome. Yeah, I know
I love in-depth. And you could ask Amanda this. Like, anytime I write something, I will put a meaning behind it.
Yep.
Like I can even say, so the chains that you see, Million, on that page there, Amanda, it was actually an implement of Amanda's, and I'm like, I love this. I am writing this in.
Yeah.
And I wrote it in the story.
The way she was describing it, I kind of had the idea. Like it's in the one page that you were looking at where her hand was reaching out and the chain caught. I think that's where it started, because the way she was describing it in the script was, I don't know why, it just made me feel like there was an invisible chain attached to her. So I'm like, I was like, Nana, what do you think of this? And she's just like, oh, I love it.
Yeah, it came out awesome. Yeah, the page is really cool, and it kind of has this really interesting symbolism there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
It's like the darkness is pulling her in.
Yeah, and then you have the light on the other side here, and she's kind of like trying to reach out towards it.
There's an Easter egg on that page as well. If you look closely, very, very closely, it's kind of hidden. Honestly, Amanda did a good job.
She was like, I hid it so much. She's like, I need it more hidden. And I'm like, listen, girl, no. No one's going to see it if I hide it more.
And let me tell anyone who's a creator here that when you team up with an artist, like when Amanda and I first started, like, we were always just like back and forth. Like, she was bouncing ideas off me and I was bouncing back. Okay. And now we have come to like this comfortable medium where now, like, we barely, we just... She knows what I like, and I know what she's gonna do. So it's like, okay, I know what to expect now. So.
Let me ask here. Did I? Is it in this vicinity? In this? I don't think it's on mouse here. The top left corner.
Yes.
No.
No.
No, not that one.
Well, that is sort of an Easter egg too.
Oh.
I see mountains here. I don't know if I'm reading too much into that, but
those are mountains.
Which is that could be an Easter egg, definitely. I won't say much more than that, but that's
sort of like cool. I could just tell you guys that's a huge...
Oh, and I see. Ooh, yeah. The more I stare at this, the more I see.
What do you see now? I'm curious.
I see water. I see water.
Okay,
isn't that like a lake?
Yes, that is water. I'm glad you know. I'm glad it looks like water because
it does.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's really cool. I love how subtle it is. Like, I was just looking, I was like, whoa, it just kind of hit me, you know?
There's more, but
very nice. Can't say much more than that, I suppose.
the mountains, of course, there's mountains.
Oh my gosh, her and her freaking mountains.
Yes, you love mountains, don't you?
I do. I love them. I'm actually going to be getting a mountain tattoo.
I'm going to get mountains banned from her vocabulary.
No, she's not.
Yeah, I am. You're not allowed to make up. You're not allowed to tell me to draw another one.
Every Nana manga has to have a mountain in it.
Instead, we're going to get giant teddy bears as Giant teddy bears are going to replace the mountains.
Sounds awful. I'm not sure that would fit the tone of this more realistic series you're going for. But we'll see. We'll see. Could be good. But that's cool. I like that. You guys are adding little stuff in there. Now, on this page, we see the chains are broken.
Mm-hmm.
And what can you tell us about this here? Maybe this page.
I could tell you that it was a pain in the butt.
In what ways?
I think looking back, this was one of my most. I don't remember. It's been a while since this page has been illustrated, and I remember this page though. I'm not sure I'm not sure how we came up with this one. I think. Did we agree that this was going to be a full page?
It was okay. So it changed around. She's like, "Listen, you got an easy page tomorrow. It's just one picture." I'm like, "Uh-huh." And yeah, okay, we'll see. And so we did the page. It was supposed to be just a full illustration of her, and then she's like, "No, we have to add more."
Well, of course.
We have to add we have to add the arm. And at first it was sorry, excuse me. At first it was 2 panels. And then it was supposed to be 1, and then it was 2. And then I'm like, you know what? Let's just combine the 2 panels. That arm was supposed to be its own like separate panel. But I'm like, no, it'll look better if we just combine it. So that's what I did. And for some reason, every time I'm working, like I used to work on this on my iPad. I've switched to a full screen tablet now, but back when I worked on this on my iPad, I actually worked on this page at my family's house while we were having a family party. And everybody who passed the screen would always point this page out. And they're like, I love that. I love it. It's so pretty. And I'm just like, funny enough, I personally really don't like this page.
Yeah.
Personally, I don't, but everybody else seems to like it, so I left it alone.
I would have to say that is one of my favorite pages. Now, the one that we did recently is now my new favorite page. Like I have a couple new favorite pages as they come. I'm like, oh man, that's my favorite page. And then the next one, I'm like, no, this is my favorite one.
I know she keeps doing that for me. Like my expectations keep getting higher, and I don't appreciate it.
Yeah, I like this one because there's a full page, kind of spread on here, and those are always cool.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys have a lot of those, or
we're going
just
to?
A few?
Yeah, we're probably gonna have a couple.
Right now, we don't have a ton, but I'm sure
you gotta use them sparingly. I mean, it is a whole page of real estate after all.
Yeah. Well, the whole page is.
Be.
I always tell Nana, when we're doing it, I was like, listen, if we're going to do a whole page, it really has to be impactful. Like, it has to be important. Any full page, like I usually read manga, and anytime a full page appears, it's usually something dramatic or important. Yeah, it's not just because, so.
Yeah, like you usually see them. I would say you probably see a full page in manga like 4 times. Usually they're between prologues, and I don't really know if you count those. Those are more like title art.
Yeah, that's title art because it doesn't count towards the story.
Never mind.
Yeah,
but like Amanda said, anything that's like impactful is something you want to put there.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Awesome. Yeah. Now, do you typically do all your art in digital, or do you use any kind of hand drawn stuff or any kind of physical mediums like that, or how do you approach it?
Right now, all of it's digital.
Nice.
Just because I don't really have a way of scanning stuff to my computer anymore. I actually did used to enjoy doing physical art more. Like I have tons of sketchbooks and they're filled. But and I always used to appreciate them more because it's really hard to get the realistic pencil strokes in a digital form. But after a while of practicing and finding the right pen, I now just don't see a reason to ever need to use like physical paper and scan stuff in. Now I could see myself doing that with storyboarding. Just because it's somehow it's easier, and I don't have to sit at a computer and do it. I can with a big sketch pad and storyboard and like, think harder about it. Whereas I feel like there's a little bit of pressure when I'm sitting at my desk looking at the monitor. So I might eventually implement that, like maybe storyboarding, but then all the line art and all the tone work is definitely going to stay digital, I think.
Very cool. Yeah, I definitely think it kind of helps in a lot of ways with streamlining the process and whatnot.
Plus, there's an erase button.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, you can't beat that. Undo is probably one of the best features you could ever have.
It's my best friend. I use it at least a million times. Sometimes I'll be working on a face, and I will draw the line and press Control-Z like at least 20 times.
Whoa.
And sometimes my husband he'll be behind me. He'll look at me, and just because you can hear just. me like deleting it over and over and over.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. Must drive him insane.
That's probably why he wears headphones.
Yeah, that's probably a good reason. Yeah. Oh man. So I had another question I wanted to bring up with you guys, which is your other series, Star Ring, has a lot of fight scenes and very action oriented. Are we going to see any kind of fight scenes in this, or is it taking a different approach to how you're doing the drama and the scenes?
You're not going to see anything physical, but you will definitely see altercations for sure.
Altercations, perhaps physical altercations.
They could get physical in nature, perhaps. Who will tell? Only time.
I could dress Millie up in some samurai gear and.
There you go. Maybe she's cosplaying at like a convention or something.
We're actually going to be I'm going to be doing a lot of crossovers. I intend to for the 0.5.
Interesting. And remind me, what's her name again, the main character?
Millie.
Millie, okay, thank you.
And a lot of go ahead.
Okay.
Fun fact is a couple of the characters are illustrated to look like some people from the team.
Oh yes, I recall this. Yes. Can you tell us who that might be?
Well, I can tell you that we're going to start illustrating Willow to look like Amanda.
Nice.
Oh, that's me.
Because she already does look like her anyways. But Millie is supposed to look like me, apparently. I didn't tell her to do that.
Apparently.
I didn't mean to do it, but it does look like her. Like after drawing it, and because she's I don't know. I could see it definitely looking like Nana, because everybody else keeps saying that. She's like, it looks just like you. And I'm just like, or they saying that to Nana. And I'm just like, yeah, I can for sure see it. So I'm like, listen, this isn't fair. I want a character.
Yeah, so we're giving her one. I'm gonna see if people can pick them out. I bet you they could.
Now, and maybe I'm making a leap of faith here, so to speak. But the mysterious individual we saw earlier on the cover, could that be perhaps based on your editor, perhaps?
Based on my who?
Oh.
A real editor too?
No.
No, okay, fair enough. Just asking. You said everyone had a character, so.
We do have one that is modeled after him. Yes, nice. We do have one.
We do. Oh, yes. We do.
Yes, we do. I've been drawing him a lot.
Oh, and Neo Star. The reason that I named the character Millie is that this whole series is dedicated to my grandmother Millie, she's currently battling leukemia.
Wow.
So I dedicated this whole entire series to my grandmother, even by naming the main character Millie. Actually, Sweven's based off of a lot of things that I, experienced as a person in my life. A lot of life experiences, a lot of things that I've learned throughout life, lessons. It hits home. It's a tearjerker, guys. Prepare to cry.
No more you tearing up. Yeah, I can see why you really wanting to stick to that down to earth kind of real life. I'm really trying to touch on some emotions that were relatable in a way, because definitely seems like it's coming from a real place of something close to you, something important to you.
It is very, very, very important. A lot of this, like, I even have caught myself crying writing this series a couple of times. That's how in depth and in character I get when I write. I've caught myself a couple times tearing up. Actually, one of them was recently. That was a little bit of emotional for me. So, and also, I know a while ago, Mike, you asked us. You said, is there any life lessons for someone to learn in starring? And Kevin said no, but there is. However, in this one, you're going to find that way more. You're going to see that way more in Sweven, for sure.
Which is another reason it makes it relatable and deep. Yeah, she messaged me. She's like, I'm crying. And I'm like, what? Why? And she's like, I just wrote a really emotional part. And I'm just like, okay.
Yeah, it gets a little emotional.
Yeah.
So
there's going to be definitely a lot of emotions while reading this story.
Yeah, no, that's all. As Fernie's Castle says, that's such a beautiful dedication of character. Like, yeah, I think that's wonderful, and what a nice way to honor her in that way.
Yeah,
and,
definitely.
Sounds like a wonderful person.
She was. I mean, she is.
Yes. Yeah, so no, I definitely understand that, and as Neostar says, prayers to your grandmother. Definitely.
Thank you. Yeah, she's a fighter. She's doing good, but I'm just super close with my grandmother. My grandmother raised me. My grandparents adopted me when I was 4 years old. So I am super close with them, and I have a very, very close relationship with my grandmother. And she's a fighter. She's pushing through and doing really well right now.
That's really awesome to hear.
Yeah.
We'll definitely be thinking about her and rooting for her. Definitely. Well, that's awesome. I definitely, as I said, I'd love to hear that, and it's
Thanks,
definitely
guys.
kind of, yeah, it's a little bit more personal, like you said, than Star Ring. So this is it's a different type of story that we're gonna be getting.
Yeah, I mean, and honestly, I wrote this in a point in time where I was not, I was in a pretty dark place when I started writing Sweven. I actually started it in the beginning of the pandemic, and here I am. It's still the pandemic, but still going, still pushing through. And I noticed that I don't know. It just, when I'm in those moods, I write just so deeply, and I really just get in there with what I'm doing.
And it's pretty amazing too is to think about. It's cool, amazing to think about how you started this when everything went down or locked down, and now you guys are almost done with this first issue.
Yeah,
and so you guys have accomplished a lot already. Yeah, I think that's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
Amy, now, do you guys have any plans to do crowdfunding or anything in that nature for Sweven? Anything like that?
We're actually gonna be opening up Patreon.
Nice.
Probably very soon. For right now, like, we do intend on doing Indiegogo probably for starring. But right now, for Sweven, I'm not too sure. So I mentioned earlier how we're going to be approaching things a little differently. So how we're going to kind of be approaching Sweven is it's going to be a season. We're going to call them seasons. We're not really focusing so much on episode impact. And what I mean by that is you're going to see a large chunk of it come pretty quickly. And then we're going to take a break because then we're going to get into starring work so we can, maintain both comics. So that's
cool.
This is a way, yeah. So we're gonna have like a chunk of time where it's not gonna be around for a little while, but it's gonna come back with season 2.
I'm surprised more comics don't do that. Yeah, I'm really. That actually makes a lot of sense. Honestly, it seems pretty intuitive and natural approach to it.
They're good. It's like we got Sweven season, we got Star season.
Exactly. And never the twain shall meet.
Well, when I said earlier about a crossover, I do intend on having some starring characters and some .5s, and it's going to be pretty entertaining.
Actually, I forgot I meant to mention this earlier when you brought that up because I was thinking about it would kind of fun to see like maybe like a piece of crossover art with like your Sweven character Millie wearing a like a Nico or Willow cosplay.
Yeah,
that'd be pretty hilarious. Yeah, I could see that being really fun.
It's definitely something we're going to be doing. Definitely something that's like stuff I really want to offer on the Patreon. You know, things like that
that are
idea,
special.
Yeah, that are special that people will love that. So I definitely can see her wearing that kimono.
She'd look so cute.
That would be perfect.
Yeah,
she's a short bean. She's just tiny. I mean,
just
she doesn't look super. She's very, very tiny. She's only like 5'1".
Got to represent for the short girls out there, right?
Yes.
Yes. Short girls unite. We're fun sized. Okay, that's what I like to say. I should wear a candy wrapper for Halloween.
I mean,
yeah, that would be a classic.
I'm pretty short, but I'm not as short as Millie. She's super short.
Really? How short is Millie again?
She is 5'1".
Okay, that's pretty short. Yeah.
That's only 2 inches shorter than me, sir.
I'm not saying that.
I'm 5'3". I'm about 5'3", and I still feel like my nan is 5'1", so that's why I did that.
It runs in the family.
It does, but I still look down to my nan. Like, she's just this little lady. So.
That's adorable.
I know, right? Just a sweet little Nana. And that's an actual Nana. That's a Nana. That's a Nana.
Nana. A Nana. That's funny.
Yes.
Yeah. I basically... there's that page. I love that page.
What do you love about this page?
Everything. Actually, a page I went back to.
Really?
Fix, yes. Like her eyes. I added more emotion to her eyes.
I noticed that today when I was sending them over, because we have like this little process when we're creating. Like we oh my gosh, like we have like these moments where we'll do pages for like a chunk of time, and then 1 week we do edits, and then just to make sure everything's looking right, going right, sounding right. Like we really have worked very hard on this series. Like, honestly, this is a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, guys. Like, from all three of us too. I mean, me and Kevin, me and Neptune, just going back and forth. Like, we talk about it constantly, which of course, you do that naturally. Talk about it with your partners all the time, but I feel like a lot of days it's like, oh my gosh, I don't even want to think about Sweven right now. It's like I have thought about it all day.
Yeah, I know you love to put in a lot of work on your projects and go over to kind of make sure everything is just perfect.
Mm-hmm. I'm kind of a perfectionist that way, and I always remind Amanda, I was like, I know I'm nitpicky, but I promise.
She's not trying to give me. She's not trying to give me an aneurysm, but
she's just doing it anyway.
Like, basically what I do is, this is my work schedule is I work Monday through Friday, sometimes on the weekends if I have to catch up on something, which I probably will have to work this weekend because I am very sick. And I do a page a day. So like sometimes, some pages are easier than others, but some it just takes a lot of time. So basically I wake up, I get my coffee, we call each other every morning and have our coffee talks. Okay, what are we doing today? I'm like, well, we're doing a page like every other day.
Yeah, I always say that. I'm like, what are we doing today?
So we look at the script and I'm like, okay, here's what I'm thinking. And I basically just sketch out what I think the page should look like. And she's like, okay, I want you to change this. Sometimes she likes everything. She's like, "Oh, that's just perfect." I'm like, "Oh,
It's
that
the
was
easy
easy."
days.
Yeah.
Easy days.
I always make sure that I send her the rough line work before I do any clean line art, because if I do that, chances are I'm gonna be erasing everything and starting again. So I make sure that she is completely happy before I do anything.
Okay, that's pretty smart.
We have a very I would say balanced, communication. Like there's never a moment on Monday, Wednesday, or Friday that her and I are not talking, which is totally fine. I enjoy her company anyway.
Sometimes not even like today, for example. Like I didn't really get to do much work today, but she called me, even though we weren't working on Sweven. She's like, "I just want to talk. I just want to hear your voice." And I'm like, "Oh,
yeah." This series has really brought me a really good friend, so I'm super. I love it. I love doing this series with her.
That's always great when you can actually work with someone you enjoy, spending time with and talking with, and it makes it all that much better. And
Definitely. I actually really love this page as well. I really love the top 3 panels, which was another implement Amanda made. That I really loved.
I definitely get the sense of like her hair being very flowy.
I love drawing her hair, if you can't tell.
They're gorgeous.
This is a page, I think, where this is the page I started using my tablet.
Oh, really? Oh, interesting.
So you can tell the art difference, because my tablet, or my big screen, actually has 8,000 pressure sensitivity. No, actually, I think it's more than that. I think it's like 21,000 pressure sensitivity.
And for those laymen out there who maybe they don't know what those people don't know what they're talking about. Maybe explain it to those people.
Okay. So pressure sensitivity is, you have a pin, and the nib on it, like how hard you press down, because when you use a pencil in real life, it knows exactly how much pressure you're using, because it's real life. However, with the pen, the computer kind of has to process how much pressure you're putting in.
Oh wow, that's interesting.
So the higher the pressure sensitivity, the more realistic it'll feel to draw. So that's what's also nice is this is also another reason I don't switch to traditional.
I had no idea. I had no idea about that. That's like really cool.
Yeah. So, I can thank my parents. I asked this for Christmas like a few years ago, and I love it. It was back when I first started getting back into art. My parents were like, "Oh, you're not going to use it." I'm like, I'll use it. And then now look at me, I use it every day. But yeah, it really, like, you can tell the difference for sure. It looks a lot more manga-y. If that's not a word, but I'm gonna use it. It looks a lot more like I want it to.
Nice. Get more precise to what you. Yeah,
I
definitely.
I definitely am able to tell the difference as well.
Really?
Just by working with her now. Well, there was actually like an instance where we actually had to use the iPad for like one page, and I was able to tell like immediately. It really does.
So layman probably, or like the casual reader probably can't tell, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
It's just the line. Like, I use the iPad. I was dog sitting and I wasn't at home. So I transferred all the data over to my iPad because I'm like, crap, I'm going to have to work on it away from home. And unfortunately, the iPad doesn't have the high pressure sensitivity. So I'll draw a line and I'm like, it's too freaking thick. I can't get it the way I want it to. Like, so I came back home and I'm like, oh, yes, this is the thin lines that
Very nice.
I love. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Do you have like a favorite software that you use?
I use Clip Studio and Photoshop. Nice. I actually only used Photoshop about once or twice for this chapter because there were some brushes that I could use to make rocks, what looked like rocks. It was like a texture that kind of helped me make what looked like rocks. I think the brush kind of took a texture from a tree. I'm like, all right, so I actually used a tree brush to make rocks.
Well, that's pretty innovative.
Yeah, you gotta get creative sometimes, especially considering I had no idea how to draw backgrounds until recently. So.
Oh, really? Is that not your forte necessarily?
I'm getting
differ there.
I'm getting better. I'm getting better, but yeah.
We actually just did a background recently, and I was like, wow, I love it. Was something as simple as shelves. I'm like, those are really nice shelves.
Thank you.
That's an odd compliment to get. I'm sure
I know,
that
right?
probably
It's
was
like
the
when
first
you're an
time.
adult and you're like excited about a sweeper.
She came up. She did the most random thing. We were looking back. We were editing a page, and she was like, "I know this is random, but I love that tire." I'm like, "I'm sorry." She's like, I'm just now looking at it, and OMG, it is just so beautiful. And I'm just like, thank you.
That seems like a line out of like a I don't know, some stoner movie or something.
Yeah, right.
That's hilarious. But no, I totally get it. I totally get where you're coming from with it.
And I don't know. I'm pretty sure a couple people have saw it, but we're actually going to be getting a very fun thing coming that I'm super excited about that I've never done before. I've been wanting to do it for so long. I finally did. We are getting a book trailer done. And I'm super stoked for it. I'm really excited.
Yeah, we're doing a
Yes, tell us please more about that. Yeah.
So basically you're gonna see the whole prologue. Possibly. We're not quite sure it's gonna be the whole thing, but you're gonna see a lot of exclusive artwork in the book trailer. And we're gonna have Meg McLean voice. She's going to be voicing Millie, and she will be for all future book trailers as well.
Now tell us why that's so exciting.
It's just so exciting because I've always kind of wanted to do this, like put together a professional video, because we have a video editor who's coming on and actually going to do it for us. So we're super excited for that.
And well, I mean, the voice actress you're working with, she's she's not new to this. She's been in quite a lot of herself. Isn't that correct?
Yeah. She voiced Rachel Gardner in Angels of Death.
And your favorite anime.
One of my favorites, yes, of course.
I'm like, geez, how cool is that, right? One of your favorite
so
anime,
awesome.
and you get to be working with one of the voice actresses who worked on that project.
And she is so sweet. When I got to talk to her, it was just so awesome. It's like I was talking to a friend. We just casually spoke about the trailer, and it was great. Like the rest of the time, we were talking about dogs. So I mean, we had our it was awesome.
That's really cool.
And virtually, of course, and we discussed our vision on the book trailer. I'm so excited for that. So you should be able to expect that after October 12th. I want to say probably by October 16th, that'll be completed as well. She's actually going to read what we showed tonight in the dialogue boxes. We're actually going to try to take those out too, I believe.
Gonna try.
To just have like an art with no dialogue kind of thing. Oh,
yeah.
It's actually going to be my roommate is the one I got a hold of too. I mean, it's easy to get a hold of her. I just leaned over and tapped her shoulder. But I was like, "Hey, do you want to do a book trailer?" And she's like,
"We actually got professional music made as well."
Wow. Yeah, that's awesome. That's gonna be really cool. I can't wait to see that. And as you said, it's coming up pretty quick here, just next month.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's gonna be on your YouTube channel.
It's actually going to be on our Instagram. And INKR Comics will of course be promoting it.
Right, so maybe on there if they have a channel. I don't know.
They do. They have. I don't know if they have a channel. But they don't have the means to actually put it on the platform. Unfortunately, not yet. But it is going to be like on their social media.
Okay. Yeah.
They're going to be promoting it as well. And it's going to be. I'm so stoked for that. Like I'm so excited.
Yeah, I'm excited for it.
Yeah, it's so awesome. Like, oh man, I can't wait for that. And just the whole thing is so cool to see you guys branching out and taking on this new chapter in this new direction. So I'm very excited to see where you guys kind of go with this whole thing and to see where it takes off, honestly.
Yeah, it's a really good series. And like I said, it has sensitive moments, but everything is for, teaches a really good lesson in the series. Like I feel like every young adult could benefit reading this series, honestly.
And I think remember when we were developing it, I told her, I was like, there's not enough mature series out there that I enjoy reading. Like most manga that's really popular just kind of follows the same routine. And it's like, that's not a bad thing because obviously it works. But there's some anime I watch and some manga I read. I'm like, why can't there be more of these? Like, why is there not a bigger, like, just, I don't know, an adult, more mature adult manga or anime that's about adults rather than like adult problems rather than like teenagers and their, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sure, that is super popular in very much in shonen, but even in a lot of manga in general.
Yeah.
To do a kind of a very young protagonist, and as you said, that's kind of it is nice to see when you can see a little bit older characters, maybe a little more relatable to some of us who are a little bit older than I don't know, 15.
Exactly. And you know, people who most of the generation who are really into anime these days are adults because we grew up with
right.
it.
Exactly.
So I feel like, you know, back when I was a kid, yeah, I liked watching, you know, Fruits Baskets and stuff like that. But now I want something that's because we're adults and we have real problems. And I feel like there's just not enough manga I can read that I relate to. I'm like, oh, this is deep. This is like a real problem. You know, people like going through the struggles of being an adult, because being a teenager, I mean, yeah, it's hard, but people just don't really don't understand that being an adult is
no one
hard.
in the cast, like no
teenagers always seem to have the hardest, you know.
No,
but ain't the truth.
no, and no one in the cast of characters is under 18. They're all 20 plus, 20 plus years old. So you're you know, as someone who's 20 plus years old plus I wish I was 20 again. A lot of like Millie is 20 at the start of the series. So you really just I could just so relate. College and you know, just trying to get it right and you know, trying to transition from being a teenager into adult. That is a real transition. That is.
Oh, yeah.
And it doesn't happen until you're like 2021. So
yeah, no. Yeah, it's kind of like stepping out of this this shelter reality into the real world, in a sense.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's definitely something that will be interesting to see you guys explore a little bit more in this series.
And you know, like I do, you know, we do talk about sensitive topics, but I just feel like they're a little hard to swallow. But that's what life's about. Life's not easy. And everyone has a history of some kind that changed them in some way. And that's what a lot of this is. It's about changing yourself and you know, transitioning into that part of your life where you're, you know, I'm comfortable. You know, I'm doing good for myself. But you see the difference in the characters is like something that they wanted at the beginning change as they get older as well.
Are those some of the main ideas you're trying to bring across in Sweven?
Yeah, like definitely. Like sometimes things that you want look so good when you're in the now, but when you go into the future and you're looking back, maybe that wasn't what was best for you, and you realize that.
They're good. We may make some grown people cry, but you know.
Hey, you know what? That's the sign of great fiction. If you can make a grown man cry, you've done your job right.
I'm extremely emotional though, so of course I'm like writing. You know, I'm getting emotional because, like I said, a lot of this is based off of a lot of my own experiences, and it is there. And these are real. This is real. Like, this isn't something that is like so cliche. A lot of the things aren't cliche at all. Which
she tries to stay away from that. For sure.
I do. I do try to stay away from the cliche things. But I mean, cliche is good too sometimes. In some aspects. Because cliche is cliche. A lot of times it just does happen.
I mean, it's cliche for a reason. It works.
And it can be also like a trope of the genre, so it's not necessarily always a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Some people like tropes.
A lot of people do, yes.
we actually even went as far as have lyrics written for songs for this already. We have
Sweven the album.
I would love that. I would love a soundtrack someday. That'd be really
really awesome,
badass.
Right? We could release our soundtrack.
I was told recently, someone that took a look at some of the pages, they were like, this would just be amazing animated. And I'm like, you're right. It really would be. It would make a really good anime, I think.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, that would be so cool, wouldn't it?
For sure. Heck yeah.
Step 1 comic, step 2 anime, step 3 profit.
Well, yeah, profit would be nice. Before that,
probably true. Yeah. Yeah, that is.
I do love this cover. Like I keep seeing people compliment the cover. The cover is amazing.
Thank you. It took 4 days. 4 days of 10 hours of work a day.
If you guys really want to know about the if you guys really want to know about the mystery man, if you zoom in, you can see like his personalities on there just a little bit. I mean, you could tell a lot by him just by looking at him.
That's good. And zoom, enhance the image, enhance. Obviously we see he has a guitar on his back, so he's a musician first and foremost.
Yep.
Very key. We see he has some symbols here. I'm gonna go to Sherlock Holmes real quick. He's got a guitar pick, so he's a guitarist. Well, we already said that. He's got a green cross here. That's interesting.
It's actually a clover.
It's actually
clover. I was wondering if it was a clover. Yeah. Okay. That actually makes sense. I can see that now. Yeah. Okay. So he's interesting. 4-leaf clover. So something to do with luck. Interesting. I'm trying to see what I can see. He's got a very fancy, stylish haircut.
Well, fancy is a strong word.
Amanda hates the haircut. Please don't get started on the haircut.
Okay, let me just tell you right now. Let me go on a 20-minute rant about this haircut.
Oh no!
I am not a fan of men with long hair.
Oh,
okay, no offense to anybody who has long hair. I don't like drawing
it. Now, I mean, oh no.
I'm sorry. I just mean I don't like drawing it. However,
fair enough.
she's like, Amanda, I will put it in a bun. And I'm like, can we add a fade? Yes. I'm like, okay.
I do like the fade. That was nice.
I'll do it. Yeah. I've grown. It's grown on me a little bit. His hairstyle has grown on me.
Aaron Yeager was a big inspiration for that hairstyle. I must admit.
Which season? Aaron Yeager.
New Aaron. Oops.
Anyway, that makes sense. Yeah. I saw a little.
Spoiler: Aaron gets a long hair. If anyone didn't know.
Yeah, he gets a long hair.
A long hair, just one
more to match it. No, he does look pretty interesting in the new trailer, so I can kind of see where you're coming from. Yeah.
So basically, if you like lucid dreaming, music, drama, and romance, this is the manga for you.
And sexiness.
And
fan service.
Sexiness.
If you're a fan of wholesome fan service and sexiness, there you go.
Well, there's wholesome fan service, and then there's definitely in your face fan service, but more wholesome.
There may be some fans out there of that. I could be wrong, but I feel like there could be a fan base for that. Just saying.
Maybe.
Who knows? We'll see.
Amanda, you need to look at the comment Neo Star just left. Because it's funny that you mentioned that.
How do you feel about bushy curly? Oh my gosh. Okay. Don't even get me started. Don't even get me. I want to strangle Jupiter today. She's like, hey, how would you feel about an afro? Don't get me wrong. Afros are gorgeous. I love them. I don't like drawing them.
Well, it's not so much like afro. It's more like just I asked her, I said, can we draw a character with like really curly brown hair? And she was like,
no.
No.
Sorry, no, I don't think so.
Well, you misunderstand. I can draw curly hair, okay? However, ringlet curls are hard, okay? And I will learn one day.
One day you can have a ringlet curl.
To learn now.
Well, it's funny. This artist I follow, write manga on Twitter, and he's been posting a lot of these hair drawing tutorials, and it made me realize, wow, it must be really difficult to draw different hairstyles. Like you can't just like go out, oh, I'm just gonna draw a different hairstyle. Like it's a little more complicated than that.
It's way more complex than that. Like even Millie's little bun in her hair that is adorable, by the way. It's hard to draw at certain angles. Like I'm getting better. Like I actually am not a huge fan of her hair in here. I did some things that I don't like. I wish I could redo it, but I'm not going to. And but like hair is so hard, like because you have to think it might look good in the front, but will it look good at every other angle?
Oh wow, yeah.
So drawing a specific hairstyle, like for instance, the guy in the back, his man bun, drawing it from behind, like I'm like, oh no, how am I gonna do it?
It's a whole new challenge. Yeah.
It's a totally different challenge, but I have to get used to it. I mean, that's just the thing. I have to learn. I have to grow.
Honestly, like these, I know I keep saying it, but like the characters in the drawing and in the writing, you're gonna want to feel like you want to be friends with them, or you want to hug them and tell them that they're going to be okay, or punch them.
I had one of those.
A few instances where you're going to want to punch a couple of them. So
hopefully you can still give them a hug afterward and tell them it's okay.
Yeah.
Hopefully it won't be too serious. We'll find out, I guess.
I definitely think there's going to be some waifu wars.
Really? How's that now? Because I only see one waifu on this screen.
Right now. That's what you
see. Now. Waifus out there.
Right now.
Apparently they're on the way.
Just wait until my character comes to the screen. I'm gonna make her a waifu, let me tell you.
What is the male counterpart of a waifu?
There is a word for it. It's not husbu. I forgot what it was. Let me look it up.
Well, Mike, you asked us earlier, so we can actually say this. You asked us earlier if we're actually implementing any characters from the original work, the Vermilion Figment, and that is true. We are. Two of the characters that were in Vermilion Figment are in Sweven. And they were Gia and Mikal.
Nice, that's cool. Glad to see you using those characters again.
Yes, and I'm pretty sure that's who Amanda's talking about with the waifu.
Okay, nice.
I got the name. So there's two names, Husbando or Hazu.
I like husband. I don't even know what it says. Husband. This is like gunman.
I just call it husbu. Like I don't call it
what. You guys have a lot of these male husbandos or whatever.
Oh,
I do. Oh yeah. Okay, my husband right now is Sungjin Woo from Solo Leveling. Oh my god, he's my background right now. Except for every time I open my phone, he's my lock screen. He's kind of glaring, so every time I open my phone, I feel like I'm being judged. It's just...
He's brooding. What can you say, right? Oh, that's too funny. Yeah, so I feel like this manga of all, especially with what you kind of laid out for us, is this going to be kind of like a lot of the kind of the, how should I say this, the pretty characters kind of style. Yeah, I'm not sure what the word for it is. You know,
pretty.
Yeah, like
pretty characters.
yeah, like there's like certain mangas that have like a very like pretty aesthetic. You kind of get with the characters. Like all the characters feel very aesthetically pleasing. I guess is what I'm getting at.
There's a
is
lot.
That kind of what you're going for?
We recently just drew something like that. I'll send it over. I'll let you guys show this in the podcast because
wait, which one? What are you showing?
An aesthetically pleasing picture, like, and not just for the fan service. Okay, it's just a super nice picture. Like it's so pleasing to look at.
Are you talking about what I think you're talking about?
Yes.
The one I did like yesterday.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Nah, you didn't sound like too happy about that.
Yeah, why did you sound happy?
Oh no,
what?
I did look at it today, and all I could look at, okay, that page came up, and all I could look at was that panel. So I guess it is pretty aesthetically pleasing.
It is. It is very pleasing. I'm gonna send it over. It's super, like, I don't know what it is about it. Like, it's just really nice. Super nice.
So I can go ahead and share this one off?
Yeah, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna send it to you.
Okay, cool. Sweet.
I'll just add it into the thing I sent you, the link that I sent you there.
Oh, okay. Sweet. I'll go ahead and refresh that. But yeah, so what are your future plans for the series? You guys kind of can tease us. Anything you can tease us right now about the future of the series, Jerry?
Well, I'm sorry. What did you say, Mike?
Without spoiling anything, is there anything you can tell us about, like, this first issue or the future of the series?
Well, right now it's only going to be digital. And like I said, it will be available on INKR. We don't have any plans of printing as of right now. I mean, that could be something we look into in the future.
Well, there's something I'm going to say that, Nana, you might have forgotten about. But like we had mentioned earlier, there's a good possibility we're going to be doing a Patreon. And but another thing we really want to do that I'm trying to set time aside for is I'd really like to start live streaming some of my drawing on Instagram. So
that'd be cool.
Yeah, we've talked about doing that.
Yeah, we have. Yeah. And I actually been thinking about kind of starting up because we have a lot of followers on Instagram, and we do communicate actively with a couple of them. And I really want to get on there and also just start like weekly live streams, just kind of give updates. It's definitely something I'm going to be doing soon, especially with us printing Starring, which I'm super excited for. So we have that coming, as well. And we're trying to keep Starring going and in the limelight, and we're going to be doing that Indiegogo for sure for that. So we definitely want to get that going. But for Sweven, the way to directly support us with this comic is to please read it on INKR. And I have this feeling like there could be a chance of pirating. So if you see it anywhere, please let us know, like anywhere at all besides INKR. It's really important that it stays there because you will be directly supporting us there.
Mm-hmm.
And helping grow a new platform for comics as well at the same time, which is always good.
I'm really excited I'm going to download the app for sure.
Yeah, it has an interesting twist. It has Korean webtoons on there, I believe. It's gonna have even some Disney manga, a lot of things, shorts. I believe that the things from Tokyo Pop are shorts. I don't think like they're full-fledged
like one shots.
Yeah, just shorts. Like I'm not even sure if they're like one shots even.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Like a little mini, maybe like a almost like a comic strip in America.
Sort of, yeah. Like I think, Amanda, when we looked recently, we noticed that like one of them was only like 2 chapters or something. Yeah, so that was like unique, and I'm like, okay, so I'm not seeing like long series on there yet.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. No, that makes a lot of sense. Give you kind of a little mini, almost like these miniseries almost.
And one thing that is awesome to know is if you do download the app on its launch day, Sweven will be there.
And when is launch day, by the way?
It's after November. It's after
November. Okay. Excellent. Yeah. Yes, I know they have the beta out right now, and so that will be the launch of the full edition that you're talking about.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Nice.
They are. So they at one point, the studio that is doing INKR comics was one of the biggest manga viewers around. At one point, they are previously Manga Rock, but they really came back, and they're a great team of people as well.
Yeah, I know they seem like they're really passionate about what they're doing, and are really interested in kind of taking it to the next level here.
Yeah, so. They do. They're coming back, and I'm super proud of them as well. And
yeah, honestly, I am too. Yeah, it's always good to see that kind of those kind of changes being implemented, and I'm excited. I'm excited to see what they can do with it. and see their connections grow.
I sent you over.
Yes, I actually was just I have it ready to go here. Just waiting for the opportune moment here.
We gotta see that.
So here we go with that. Well, bam, fan service in your face.
Yes, little booty.
Very nice.
It's super. It's just a really nice picture.
I love this page. Yeah,
I definitely love that. It's my favorite.
I like the punk sign.
Thank you. I made it.
Very nice.
I made everything.
I made this.
Those were the shelves I was talking about, by the way. Those were the shelves.
Those stupid
shelves.
Oh
my god. Well, yeah, the shelves came out nice. Yeah, those are some good shelves right there.
Yeah,
IKEA brand
nice
probably.
Shelves.
And here's another funny. Okay, so she's like, "Hey, in this panel, can we please put some fan service?" I'm like, "What what kind of fan service?" Because I was just gonna have her casually walking down the aisle, all wholesome like, and she's like, "I want a booty shot," and I'm like, that's gonna be hard because her hair is really long, and so is the sweater she has on currently, and so I just kind of made it like fly so that. So you can kind of get the air lifted the skirt or the sweater, and the hair there reveals some booty.
She's walking with purpose. She's striding through.
She's for sure walking with purpose. Look at her little hand. She's like,
right.
She knows exactly where she's going.
To the punk section.
For sure.
Yes, love. She loves like punk music. Like this is a lot to do with like rock music. So if you like rock music, you'll definitely like this manga.
That's cool. I love that it has kind of a musical element to it as well. That's pretty fun.
Yeah, Nana was definitely my biggest inspiration for the music aesthetics here.
Who's Millie's? Who would you say are some of Millie's favorite pop musicians or punk musicians rather?
I would say they weren't around at the time, but future Millie is like, I love Flyleaf.
Or the older Millie, perhaps.
The older Millie, I'm sorry, future Millie, older Millie. But I would say like a lot of music that you would hear, I guess, that would take place then would be like Third Eye Blind.
Yeah, because I was thinking because you kind of want to fit it with the 90s, right?
Yeah, like 90s music, 90s rock. If you guys can remember those days.
The grungy.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, you should. There'll be either a soundtrack or a mixtape. We need something. I feel like that would be ideal.
The musician that did the music for the book trailer, he tried to implement rock music into it. So you're gonna hear a little bit of that in the music as well.
Cool.
Along with like orchestra too, if you're into that. He did a really good job. He did a really good job with the music. Very good job.
Well, I'm very excited to hear that. Yeah.
It ends so softly. Wait, what did you say?
Gotta love. I'm sorry, I was just reading a comment. Gotta love a good booty shot once in a while.
Yeah. Booty shot.
The man knows what he's talking about.
Yeah. I am a woman, but booty shots are very nice.
Yes, very true. Anyone can appreciate a good booty shot. It's not
and it's so like pleasing, like your sweater, like it's so natural. That's what I love about it. Like it wasn't. It was like it's something that would naturally happen. Like when you watch like High School DxD.
Not saying that we would, but when you do.
Oh, not saying you would.
Please don't watch it. Spare yourself the cringe shots.
Okay, listen, they will barely move and just flap, 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 flap. Everything flaps. It's like, my gosh, all you did was like brush your hair. Like, calm down.
Like turn the physics up in a video game or something.
They turn the physics up to 1000.
So we're not talking that level necessarily then, I guess.
No.
That's good.
No.
That's too funny.
I can assure you that everybody's eyes are on right now, and it is not the plushies.
No, not necessarily. It's something else plush that is on the screen here right now.
Actually, that reminds me. I did draw.
Oh man.
Nana, can I tell them?
Is it about the thick?
No, is it okay? The part about her walking into the store. Can I tell them about that?
Oh yes.
Okay, so I had fun. She didn't even tell me to do this in the script. Okay, so Millie, before she walks into this store, she's gleefully coming into her favorite store, and there's a group of people outside who like they basically split the sea for her. And I got to draw some extras. And the lucky man who got to stand behind Millie is making eyes at her.
Checking her out, so maybe
yes.
Yeah. She's looking at her tissue.
I mean, she's making it hard not to.
I mean, she's just admiring the scenery now, just taking it all in.
Yeah, it definitely was. That's something that was super funny.
She messaged me. She's like, "Is that guy looking at her butt?" And I'm like, "Yes."
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 100% yes.
That's so funny.
That's good. Yeah.
Recently, another funny thing that we did with Millie was in this picture in particular. It was so funny. I was actually laughing to myself. Amanda, she's like, I know she needs to be thicker. I'm like, wait, I didn't say that.
She always tells me, okay, let me put this into context for you. So she's like, I'll draw her, and she'll be like, I need her to be thicker. I'm like, but she is thick. She's like, thicker. I'm like, okay. I'm like, listen, if she gets any thicker, she's going to be disproportionate. Well, when I drew this picture, I actually didn't think she was thick enough. For once, I was the one who didn't think she was thick enough. And so I sent it to her, and I'm like, before you say anything, because I felt like she was going to message me, I need her to be thicker. I was like, before you say anything, this is the rough sketch. I promise I'll make her thicker. And she's just like, I don't think she needs to be thicker. And I'm like, really? And she's like, well, let me see what it looks like. So I made her thicker, and she's like, oh gosh, no.
You didn't like it, huh? Oh wow.
She's like,
not for this scene, huh?
I can't remember what you said, but it was really funny.
Oh, that's awesome.
She's like, all right, I'll tone it back. I
think that Nana, you definitely. Sorry, I was gonna say real quick. You definitely you like to take something that you enjoy and then amp it up to the next level and more of it.
Yes, I do. And it's I was gonna say she's such a stylish character too. Like you're gonna see her in tons of cute, pleasing outfits that we have planned. A lot of rompers, which I know Amanda doesn't like that.
I hate rompers so much. She's like, I want her to be in a romper in like every scene, and I'm like, we're gonna have to improvise because I'm not drawing her in a freaking romper for every scene.
Yeah, you're gonna be lucky to get one romper scene in there.
We actually had a romper scene in the panels we showed, so I win.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah,
it's kind of interesting working in a more contemporary real world setting allows you to play with fashion a little bit more than I feel like you could with like Star Ring, for example.
Definitely. It's something that for me anyway is I get a lot of inspo, like I said, from AI Yazawa, and AI Yazawa was originally she was originally a designer for clothes, so she like had fun doing that, and I'm like, I really love. Yeah, she like just design her own characters' clothes, like put them in their own outfits. So that's smart, something that I like. I really want them to. I have fun dressing people up already, and I'm like, helping Amanda with these outfits too. Super fun.
Oh, I love designing outfits, and I love designing costumes. Like, so it is more fun. Like, Star Ring, I'm stuck with you're stuck with that basic shonen-ness where they don't ever change their clothes. Right. I don't know why they don't stink, but they never change their clothes. And so it's kind of like a breath of fresh air. I feel like going to be switching between these series. I'm going to be like, all right, back to action. All right, back to girliness. You know what I mean? Like I get to play with outfits in this one, and I get to draw cutesy stuff. And so it's kind of like gonna be nice transitioning between the two.
Yeah, I'm never gonna be bored.
No, for sure you're not.
Well, yeah, that was already a guarantee with Nana on board here. So with what you're throwing at her, I don't think you could ever be bored. That's for sure.
That's for sure.
I know it's.
I don't know if I'll write any more comics anytime soon, guys.
Oh no!
I can feel myself tapping out. No, I'm definitely gonna be, juggling 2 comics is not easy. Oh my gosh,
no.
is it not? It's not. But I'm fine. Yeah, it's getting in the swing of it. That's a little difficult. So usually what I do is I consider myself working on all aspects. So, Amanda's going to need me throughout the day for illustrations. So on days that I illustrate, sometimes at night, I'll write starring. Or on the weekends, I'm writing starring. Or during the week, I'm writing Sweven. Whatever we're illustrating, I write more frequently than the other. So when we get into starring, I will be writing that more as we're illustrating. It just kind of like keeps me in the spirit of what I'm doing. So I don't, fall off the beaten path and get confused or whatever. Thank God I have I have 2 notebooks. I call one my starring Bible, and I call one my Sweven Bible.
And you swear by them both.
I do. All of the ideas are in front of me. All the mystery.
It's just waiting to be unfolded before our very eyes.
Waiting to be unfolded, yeah. Actually, and I have to thank Kazuto. He's actually coming on as a co-writer for Star.
Oh wow, very excellent.
Yeah, he's gonna just be doing like spin-offs, or he's basically, the whole world for starring so big, so he's gonna be doing some spin-offs like of side stories, that differ from the main plot. So that's super fun as well. Looking forward to that too. We don't know if Amanda will be. Really awesome. I don't know if Amanda will be illustrating those. So she'll definitely be illustrating.
Artists to be determined.
Yeah, artists to be determined. But she's definitely going to be illustrating the main series. So.
Definitely, and I feel like you kind of with spinoffs you can kind of go get away. You can branch out and use new artists and kind of get different takes on things. And
I've read many spinoffs of manga, and they're almost never done by the same artist.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah. It's probably because the artist is too busy doing the main series.
Yeah.
I know in Attack on Titan they've done that a couple times.
Yeah,
Fairy Tail's done dozens of spinoffs.
Oh my god, yeah. There's all
of them are different. Yeah, all of them are different artists.
I know you're a pretty decently sized of Fairy Tail. Have you read some of the spinoffs and whatnot?
Oh yeah, for sure. I think I've read just about all of the spinoffs. My favorite one was probably the City Hero one.
Oh, what's that one? I wasn't familiar with
It's literally Fairy Tail. They have the same magic, same guild, but they work at a police department. It's really cute. It's so cute.
Yeah,
it's really
cute. That one.
It actually came out the same time 100 Year Quest did.
Ah, okay, it's pretty new then. Okay.
Yeah, and 100 Year Quest isn't technically a spinoff; it's a sequel. But I am in love with that series.
Oh, that's cool.
Right now,
I need to finish that one. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say right now I am just patiently waiting for Yashaheim. That's my main focus right now.
Should have known.
I've been rewatching my Inuyasha. I'm gonna cry. I cried during the final act. I'm gonna cry during this one. See, the thing with the final act was when I watched the final act, I was pregnant with my son, so my emotions were through the roof. And I watched it and I was like, oh. They finished it finally, because like everyone knows that Inuyasha had this period of time where like nothing happened; it was gone, and we were left like so open ended. And then finally they came back at the final act. I'm like, yes.
Yeah, that's amazing when you do finally get to have a proper ending after all.
Exactly, like Bleach anime. I know they're waiting on that.
Oh my god! Yes, I want to watch. I want a Bleach anime ending so bad.
I feel so bad for the people who have to wait for Bleach.
Well, yeah, I just we could all read it. I guess if we.
Burn the Witch is awesome.
Yeah, I heard anime coming after that one as well.
Yeah, I think it's a movie.
Yeah. Oh, really? Okay, interesting.
Has anybody seen the Bleach movie?
The live action one?
Yeah.
No.
You should. And
really?
For even more, like, okay, so I did watch it, and I watched it in dub. And everybody, I know that sounds terrible. I did it mostly just for funnies, because it's so weird watching dub over a live action.
Yeah, it is a little odd.
And they use the same
with anime.
They use the same voice actors from the anime, which I appreciate. But like, it was just so weird. I'm like, this just doesn't look right.
Yeah, you kind of have to suspend your disbelief a little bit for that.
Yeah.
For the dub live action stuff, because it doesn't quite match up perfectly, 100%.
There's Brian.
Yeah.
He's like the biggest Bleach fan I know.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I actually drew he actually hired me for commission back when I first started doing commission.
Oh, nice.
He hired me to do a Bleach commission.
Oh, which character was it?
Ichigo.
Oh, of course.
I had never drawn Ichigo before, and it was hard, but I definitely enjoyed doing it.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's a great series. Always a classic.
It is. I'm actually in the middle of watching it with my husband.
Oh, nice.
He bugs me every weekend. We need to finish Bleach. I guess I know.
How far are you into it, would you say?
We're on the Hiname. What's her name? Oh my gosh, the girl with the orange hair, Hiname.
Shoot. Yeah, I'm terrible with names, so you don't.
They're rescuing her from this. Oh my gosh, the guy with glasses. Well, he doesn't have glasses anymore. I can't remember his name.
I'm trying to think how far you're into it. Are you like you're well past like the first several arcs, and I would think, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. Basically rescuing her. She got kidnapped for her abilities, and yeah.
So I never finished it myself, so you're probably past what I've seen. I actually need to go back and watch it all. I dropped off after a little while.
I don't even think I'm halfway done.
And it's not anime related, but a movie I highly recommend everyone.
Or a Hime, that's what it was. Sorry.
It's okay. Yes. A movie that I highly recommend everyone to watch, and it's not an anime, but it's called #Alive. Oh my gosh, so good. Super good.
#Alive?
Yes, it's on Netflix.
Huh. What kind of is like a horror movie?
It's a Korean zombie movie. It's awesome.
Kind of like that Train from Busan or whatever.
I'm not sure. I know is it was awesome. It was so cool. #Alive.
We'll check it out. Yeah, I'll if you liked that, you may check out. There's another one called I think it's Train to Busan or something. I believe it's another Korean zombie film. So
I'll have to check that out. I mean, the zombies in this movie were crazy, guys.
Really?
Oh my gosh, they were so good. Like, it was done so well.
And it's on Netflix?
Yeah, it's on Netflix. It's a Netflix original, which surprisingly is good.
And is it like a sub?
Yeah, it's in dub. Mm-hmm.
Oh, it is in dub. Okay, nice. So we can see more of that fun voiceover work there.
I didn't watch it in dub personally.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
But it is available. Okay.
It is available in subtitles, yeah.
Should you choose? Are you you guys both in the sub house?
I'm both.
You're not.
I'll watch either. The only reason I do love sub. I actually have some voice actors and actresses I really love in Japanese. However, I suffer bad. I don't wear my glasses all the time. I cannot read very well because I can read, but like I can't see the subtitles. I have bad astigmatism.
Okay. I'm like the same way in a way. Like I can't read them fast enough.
Exactly.
Like I'm never. Yeah.
You're looking at the subtitles, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I love both for different reasons.
I prefer the dub because I can relate to it better because I can understand dub way better. So I feel like I connect a little bit more with the characters from time to time when I watch dub because it's my home language, right? So it's like I am trying to learn Japanese. Oh gosh, it's so hard.
She's doing good. She's doing good.
I learned. I've memorized all the hiragana. I'm on katakana. I've memorized a good portion of katakana. It's just the kanji that's just going to absolutely.
I took Japanese class for 1 year in high school, I took Spanish 3 years, so I didn't actually do like the full 4 years of Japanese. I just took the first one, but yeah, it's freaking hard.
It's hard, and it's
So much harder
because
than
we're the
Spanish.
complete opposite spectrum. That's why it's so
Oh my
hard.
God, yeah.
But it's the same for them. English is really hard to learn.
Interesting. Good point.
Yeah. It's weird. It's because it's kind of cool though, because I've been studying. I study it every day, like morning and night. Even in the middle of the day, I'll study my Japanese, and it's so weird because I can read it now. And so I'll be on Twitter. I follow a few Japanese folk on Twitter, and they'll post something, and sometimes I could read it, and I'm like, oh, this is so cool.
Yeah, that must be really rewarding to have all that work start paying off like that.
For sure.
I mean, personally, like I love sub for its originality. I love hearing it in sub, and I connect with it a little bit deeper than I do with the dub. However, I do have respect for English dub. I love the aesthetic of English dub and how far it has come. It's come a long way. I mean,
it's gotten better for sure.
It's gone so. I mean, they really like the English voice actors. Some of them really just have progressed so amazingly. They do really good. You know, a personal favorite of mine is Monica Rial.
Nice.
I love Monica Rial. I have a lot of respect for her. I also really love Richard Ian Cox. They were more Canadian based. Like I love the Canadian based English dub back when it was a thing. I don't really know if they still do them. I don't really hear them much in anything anymore.
Monica Rial is very versatile though. She's
she's in a lot of stuff.
I love her. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Personally, my favorite voice actor of all time is Ian Sinclair.
Oh yeah, he's great.
He's awesome. He's just so funny. I love Brooke, and he's very versatile too. Like he plays so many different types of roles. But for sure, my favorite voice of his is Brooke. I want to do the laugh. Sorry, what?
Which which character?
Brooke from One Piece.
Ah, okay. Yeah, okay.
I love Brooke. He is just, I want to do his laugh, but I'm too sick. I can't. He's just so unique. And then like whenever I hear him in other anime doing like a more serious, deep, super attractive voice, let me add, I'm just like, wait, that's the same guy who does Brooke? That's so weird. But he's amazing. I love him.
Yeah, it's always really cool when you see like or when you hear the actors are like, wait, what? That's the same person? Like,
yeah, no, it's so weird. Yeah, but it's cool.
Yeah, that's one thing I do respect about and for me I really like about the English voice actors is that you end up starting to know some like kind of who they are and you can hear a little bit of their voice in their roles, and so you start to say like, oh, some of my favorite voice actors are gonna be in this show and then this show and then
you get really excited.
Yeah.
Like I'll watch something and I'll be like, ooh, I know him. I know that guy. That's his voice.
I'm sure that's like for you probably in Japanese, since you're more connected to Japanese voice actors, you probably kind of feel the same way, I would imagine.
I love the Japanese voice actors. I love them. I love
There's
both.
very few that you can recognize if you don't speak Japanese, but because they're really unique.
You kind of have to, yeah, you really, there are like a few that really stand out. Like I definitely, obviously Goku for sure. She was a really talented voice actress.
Now she was.
And yeah, there's just so there are those out there, like but yeah, I definitely know what you mean exactly. But we have some in the chat says as far as voice actors go, or that I aspire to be like, I have to go with Christina V. It's a great choice, another great choice, very talented.
I think one of my favorite dubs as of recently was, funny enough, Angels of Death dub. It's fantastic.
I bet it's really good. I have only seen a couple episodes of Angels of Death because I was watching it with a friend and she couldn't handle it because it's pretty dark. But I think that the dub for it was amazing because you got all these insane characters, like, and they just have to pull off some really crazy stuff to be in an anime like that. So it's, yeah, I actually really need to watch that anime fully.
Yeah. Are there any other anime that you're looking forward to, Nana? Damn it, I did it again. Nana.
Nana.
Right now, guys, sorry, I'm not paying attention to nothing else until Yasha drops on October 3rd.
Fair
I'm
enough.
not paying attention to nothing. And I hope to God they get the original cast back, please. No one else can be Inuyasha but Richard Dean Cox. Sorry, I don't even consider the Japanese voice actor. Richard Dean Cox is Inuyasha.
So it is like for you, there are certain English dubs that are kind of like the iconic ones for you.
Yes, like Inuyasha. Like I am such a fan of the Canadian-based dubs. Like I love them. I loved Nana. Nana, I'm pretty certain was some of the Canadian cast. Inuyasha, like around that time period, that's when I loved dub the best. The best.
Oh, that's really
Actually, a lot of Inuyasha voice actors were in Nana. Funny enough.
Are you watching?
Interesting. Yeah. Well, that's awesome. I mean, I know I'm excited to check out that show and whatnot. But we're getting kind of towards the end of our time here. We have probably about another 10 minutes or so. So I just wanted to kind of keep that in mind. What do you have planned? Even regardless of not just this project, but all your other projects. What do you have on the plate right now? What's going on?
So
with
right
the
now
world of Nana. Damn it! I'm gonna do that all night. World of Nana.
Did you take Japanese?
You know what? That's funny that you said that because I never thought about it. But you're right. Thinking about like actual Japanese, it would be. Wouldn't be Nana. It would be Nana.
They don't have
so actually, Nana.
That's really funny.
Actually, Nana Hoshiko actually translates to 7 stars.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
I like that.
She started calling me Hachiko.
I call her Hachi now.
Yeah,
we just think we're like living in Nana. We're like there. We're like best friends with them. They told me
for sure.
We need a group image of you, like a fan art, like all together hanging out.
Oh my god,
that would
man!
Be
I guess that means I have to dress as Hachiko.
So right now we're illustrating Sweven. We're trying to meet our November 5th deadline. Amanda and I got it all planned out. We're ready to go for that. We're getting ready to launch sooner than we thought. We actually originally were going to have 3 chapters done and put the whole season up at once. However, we're not doing that now. We're actually going to do it per section. So you'll have 3 sections a season, 3 episodes a season. So we're going to be doing our 3 episodes of Sweven first. And then after our 3 episodes are done, we're going to get back into starring episodes. And we're going to have a book trailer for season 1 of Sweven with the talented voice of Meg McLean, which I'm so excited. She's such a sweet girl. So excited to be working with her. Yeah. And we got to work with a lot of amazing people for Sweven. Like we really opened our doors with this comic. We got a voice actor. We got, we have a good friend of ours even directing the project. Of course, Kazuto doing the editing, Amanda doing the art. We got to work with a musician. Mm-hmm. We got to work. Yeah, we got to work. We really are broad, so we really are doing a lot of stuff. I'm tired.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool though because you're making good friends along the way.
Yeah, definitely. We all kind of bonded, especially with this comic, and starring was tough. I mean, we went through a lot there. And we publicly announced,
it's still tough.
Everything. Yeah, it's still really tough. We went through. Just like reflecting on that time, it was so stressful because we had to get Amanda in quick, and we like threw her because we started Sweven right when we needed to finish the production on starring. Like our old artist and Amanda were working, and that's originally was the plan. But then our old artist quit, so Amanda came in and she did her best. Like I felt so bad because it was so stressful. It was because we were trying to get it done and.
I have never worked longer hours in my life.
Yeah.
I was pushing out how many? I was doing 2 pages a day.
Mm-hmm.
And in an art style I didn't even know how to do, and doing a thing I didn't even know how to do. Yeah.
And your art is very detailed too. It's got a lot to it.
Yeah. It was hard.
You know,
Yeah.
we do want to say, you know, you know, us as a team, we can say proudly, I think we could say that we, you know, we did get our funds back. We were
Congratulations.
we were able to receive all of our funds.
I'm very happy to hear that.
Thank you. And everyone who donated, thank you so much. And you were, you know, as promised, I'm going to credit those that donated to us in our credit section under Sweven. So keep your lookout. If you donated, your name will be in the first episode of season 1. So.
Well, that definitely seems like must have been nice for you to receive such a, you know, warm welcome from the community like that.
It was so, like I was crying because we, you know, that was our funds. That was how we kept production going.
Right.
And thank God. I mean,
wow.
Thank you, universe. Thank you.
Yeah, that's really amazing. That's really cool.
Yeah.
I'm always good to hear when things turn around for the better.
Yeah, definitely ended positive.
Making the most of the bad situation. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's really cool. Well, you know, obviously I know you teased us a little bit what to expect from the future of Sweven. Maybe you could detail us a little bit. You said there's gonna be 3 episodes per season. About how long in terms of just production cycle can we expect for a season? Would you estimate?
Obviously,
that's pretty
maybe half up. I want to say like half a year.
Yeah.
Maybe
okay, so maybe like 2 seasons a year, perhaps.
2 seasons a year sounds doable, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, it took us a bit to kind of because you know, Amanda's also working on other comics as well, so we have to kind of work with schedules and things like that. But we managed to, we did the map, sat down, and figured it out. And like, this is how, because you know, INKR, they wanted us to have a steady schedule. Consistent schedule. So they, you know, we sat down and we bucked up and we got it done, and I'm so proud of us for that. Because I just feel like I have never stuck to a schedule until right now. So it's like, it was great.
Yeah, she's like, okay, so Amanda, how many pages can we get done with this? Like, we were doing math for like an hour to try to figure out how we could do this, keep it, you know, keeping it consistent, keeping the chapters a good length and everything. And I'm like, well, I'm gonna have to move some things around, but I think we figured out how we can do this successfully.
Yeah.
And not only that, but we've pushed around enough time to where I'll be able to do other things too. Like, you know, like I said, if we start a Patreon, I'll be able to make art for Patreon. I'll be able to do like exclusive stuff for it.
Ooh, yeah.
As well as the streams, you know, live streaming my art and stuff like that. So
yeah, who knows? You might even be able to offer print versions of the books for patrons down the line as well.
Yeah, I would love to
do that. Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to do that. And I'm really excited for the season thing. Like, I know that's like a small thing, but it's like, you don't see it. You see it in webtoons, but you don't see it in manga. So I'm actually really interested. I'm really interested to see how that's going to play out. I really feel like it's going to play out well, because the way that Sweven's written, it ends on a cliffhanger almost every time. So
you gotta bring it back, right?
Yeah, like you got to keep you coming back for more. And don't worry, I'll do that.
No, that's cool, and I like the idea of the season 2 because you know, it seems like they would be thematically tied together, in some ways that you know, kind of make it that complete season. So I think that'll be kind of fun to see as well.
Definitely, definitely.
Now, as I said, we're pretty much just about out of time here. Now, can you remind us again, when is the comic going to be hitting Anchor, so people check that out?
It's going to be hitting INKR comic. Yeah, it's okay. We called it Anchor too.
I called it Inkbar. Yeah.
Inkbar. So it will be hitting INKR comics on November 5th. I'm sorry. On November 5th, our production will be done, and you probably will be able to. They'll probably get it all bundled and ready to go within a couple days after that. So expect it anywhere between like November 5th and the 10th. Of course, I'll be sending announcements out on Twitter when it's approaching, when we're coming to the end. I'm pretty good about updates, I like to feel. So yeah, and remember, please, if anyone sees it on any sites or anything like that, please let us know, because when you go to INKR, you're actually, you're supporting us directly. That's very, very important.
Yeah, for sure.
That's where it's going to be exclusively to read. That's going to be the official spot.
Yeah, that's the only spot.
Yeah,
the official and
definitely.
only.
But yeah, speaking of which, where can they follow you online so that they can make sure that they know exactly when it does drop?
Sure. You can follow our Twitter accounts, which is hold on.
God
bless you.
Thank you.
We'll start with Instagram. You can follow our Instagram at Instagram.com at Jupiter_Ripple_comics, and then on Twitter at JRippleComics.
Very nice. And excuse me, Neptune, did you want to drop anything there? Any links your own?
Y'all can follow me on Instagram. It's Neptune Inc. Senpai. It's exactly what my username here says for my Instagram. My Twitter, I'm eventually gonna hopefully get changed to the same, but for now it's Northern, Northern Boops, like BOOPS, all one word. That's my Twitter.
Awesome.
Can I please ask, where does that come from?
I really don't know. I think my name used to be Northern Aurora, and I'm like, I want it to be funny, so I was like, Boops. I don't really freaking know. I was just trying to come up with a cool username. Okay.
I see it like 50 times a day.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
I'm just like, I see it 50 times a day, and every time I see it, I'm like, I want to know where that. What is that?
I don't even know.
I never questioned it. I just was like, okay, yeah, that's fair.
I need to change it, honestly, but
that's a lot of work. Who wants to do that, right?
Exactly.
So, well, I really appreciate you guys coming on and talking with us. This was really fun to learn a little bit more about the story and the characters and kind of what this manga is all about. Is there anything you want to leave the fans out there with and people who are considering checking out your work? Any final words?
Prepare to cry.
I like how we complete opposite. I was just like, booty, and you're like, be prepared to be swept up by emotions.
So prepare to cry and be prepared for booty.
Yeah,
you heard it here.
I just
sounds
want
like a great combination.
to say, I love doing these podcasts with you guys. So thank you for
thank you
for indie spotlighting us.
No, definitely, yeah.
It's guys, it's such a good comic. Please give it a read. You're not going to be disappointed. We really poured our hearts into this project. All of us, everyone involved.
Blood, sweat, and tears.
Yes.
That's amazing. Well, I know the fans are going to be really excited to see it once it does release and get their hands on it and check it out and read it on inkr.com. And so, yeah, that's awesome. I know I'm really excited about it. And it's going to be really interesting to see kind of how this first season plays out. So I wish you guys luck with it.
Thank you very much. Yep.
You're welcome. And thank you everyone who watched on the chat. And if you guys are watching the replay, we appreciate it as well. Definitely go check out inkr.com. Go check them out on their Twitter links that they dropped just a few minutes ago, and their Instagram as well. And check it out. The comic once it releases. Every little bit of support that you can give them just by reading it and sharing it and getting the word out, it really helps a lot. So it's definitely appreciated.
Thanks,
all right,
guys.
everyone. We'll see you next time. We appreciate you, and everyone have a great night.
Yep.
Thank you. Bye.